You've indicated possibility of artificial intelligence by the year 2000. What do you mean by that?
Yes, well, this, in fact, is something which we have in the movie, this computer HAL, who takes over the operation. Many computer scientists think that we will develop, before the end of the century, machines which are intelligent by any way you care to define that word. In fact, there are some computers now that can carry on conversations with you over an electric typewriter, and people just will not believe they are talking to a machine, even though the present conversation is limited to rather restricted areas. But many scientists think that in the next century we will have machines which are more intelligent than us, and of course this may be one of the great divides in history.
Get this, China put out a commercial, right, with robots, and they are religious robots, right? They got a concept. So this shit is deep, right? And what you need to do is go get a movie called The Surrogate with Bruce Willis in it, right? And you'll see what they've been doing for many years. This has already been going on, right?
Robotic human surrogates combine the durability of a machine with the grace and beauty of the human body. With most people living their lives through their surrogate selves, our world has become a safer place. Take a seat in your STEM chair, and just with the power of your mind, you can control your surrogate and send it out into the real world. You can live your life without limitations. You see what they see, feel what they feel, and become anyone you want to be from the comfort and safety of your own home. You can finally live the life you've always dreamt of without any risk or danger to yourself.
We are confronted with an unprecedented situation. 2 people have died while connected to their surrogates.
I think we may actually have a homicide here. First one in 15 years.
The public cannot be allowed to get the idea that using a surrogate can be fatal.
Especially if it's true. I just want to know how an operator can be killed by signals from a surrogate.
Surrogates have been blown to bits.
Answer the nepotism question. I mean, that you're in this position, you have this amount of power because you're married to the daughter of the president.
So look, I had a very successful business career before I got involved with the campaign. I think that my performance and contribution on the last campaign and then my performance and contributions over the last 3 years in the White House should probably answer that question.
How many androids does it take to remove a light bulb? None. Androids can see in the dark. This planet is inhabited by nearly 7 billion human beings. Each and every person is allotted a certain duration within which to live out their biological life. As I examined human beings closer and closer, I began to discover some anomalies in human behavior. To discuss the size and weight of this discussion, I determined that I would require some elemental proof. Rather than discuss a farmer or a schoolgirl, because these subjects have little influence on society, I chose to identify and highlight prominent people. All of my chosen subjects are significant political players in the U.S. government. This does not exclude other governments, nor does it suggest any negative connotation to the United States governing body. I have only identified my best examples given my limited resources.
The legal position of the United States Chamber of Commerce is a solid position.
We can expect a multitude of similar cases in every part of the world. That is to say, androids are not just U.S. citizens, and neither are they just politicians. Again, the idea of inserting an advanced android being into an existential civilization is a very profound concept, and it is done with a lot of care and attention. As you will discover, these people did not crash land their spaceship, nor did they time travel into this world. They were inserted many years ago.
But the Republican moderates struck an agreement.
To suggest that an android is inserted is to suggest that another party, unidentified, is working behind the scenes. It is also suggesting that this unidentified party is advanced enough to not only create a synthetic human, but also can program it to influence society, all without society noticing their manipulations. Given the quality of my examples, I estimate that this technology is 1,000 years ahead of human science today. It is so advanced that you have not noticed the android on the screen. Let's observe. The white-haired man in the center is a synthetic person. Our first clue is his rate of blinking.
Your grandparents survived the Holocaust. How do you reconcile that family legacy with the fact that the refugee numbers have gone down so dramatically under President Trump? Your grandparents survived the Holocaust. How do you reconcile that family legacy with the fact that the refugee numbers have gone down so dramatically under President Trump?
He is blinking so fast that it is comparable to REM sleep, rapid eye movement. Our second clue is his relative position. He is always situated to the left of the speaker, behind them. Our third clue is his pattern of influence. When he is behind the speaker, he blinks repeatedly. When he is away, he stops blinking.
All of us work together to produce legislation, which I think will go a long, long way to meet the needs here to turn this recession around. This bill will create about 3.5 million jobs. We're showing to them that people have lost jobs.
Our fourth clue is his energy signature. From my own personal observation, he is neither human nor is he non-human or star person in energy signature. He is also not a clone. Given the lack of options, we are led to think he is synthetic of a very advanced nature. Finally, our fifth clue is the general observation. A synthetic being is a machine, a transmitter-receiver, much like a mobile phone. A synthetic device is employed at times of influence. This is a high-profile press conference and a good place to insert an android's influence. To understand his blinking, we refer to our computer. Whenever you insert a DVD into the drive bay or you plug in a USB drive, you'll notice a blinking light as the computer reads the data. Fast blinking means data reading or transmission. The white-haired android blinks rapidly because he is transmitting data. To whom? To the speaker, so as to ensure the speaker speaks on topic.
Also known as the stimulus package, $787 billion price tag. Are Americans getting their bang for the buck from this?
Absolutely, but I don't think they realize it. Number one. Number two, it was designed to have two stages to it. We've only been halfway through the act. The job-creating portions are really loaded at the second half here, and the major projects that are going to be being built. But yes, they have gotten their money's worth.
So each speaker in turn receives his data transmission. This points to a very disturbing notion. If the white-haired android is transmitting data, and if there are many androids, then who is managing the android mainframe?
You gotta keep in mind, this been going on. This is technology that might be way above some people's head. This shit might sound crazy, but it's been going on. They are 40 to 50 years ahead of the public in technology, man. Stuff is about to get ready to roll out. We're going into the future. Robots are the future. Future cars, right? We're gonna do a tape on it next, where we talk about the future cars. But robots are the future, right? And Mother Sophia Stewart already, brought that to the front when she talked about the machines taking over the surface, right? Artificial intelligence, right? So we gotta look at these things and study these things and see what's happening here when the robots are coming into full effect now. They already got this technology, man. Robots are in full effect.
Alright, this is Exobox Part 2. Now, when it comes to this Android Exobox, transhumanism is happening via the phones, right? This is what the brother forgot to point out, right? Evidently, it's been in effect for some time. Single drip programs have been inserted into the timelines to derail certain people. But what I've noticed was a certain group of people also have this rapid eye blinking, and it falls on the vampiric, you know, the vampires. Because I ran into an individual, they was on the same rapid eye blink. I'm like, what's wrong with this person? Like, you know what I'm saying? But they was very strong with mind manipulation, with this certain attribution. So as you seen in the in the video, the professor points out about the rapid eye blinking and the jobs that the android does for society, or per se, around individuals. But what we have to look at is the fact that this is happening at a mass quantity now, where you're having a lot of people, becoming androids per se, and then they're more into the gray area and fixated on the trending topics, right? So as we look further into this situation, this is why I've always been saying that you got androids playing on androids. So most people have been activated. So how they got activated was through the COVID situation. Now, if you would have took the COVID shot, then that would have made you a sleeper cell, right? So, what people need to understand is, at the same time, you have gray entities attaching to people. You have different, ET races that's, basically coming out to the forefront. What I really believe is that they're putting these things into the timeline now to differentiate from the real, ET terrestrial beings that do follow that same kind of pattern. If you get what I'm saying, most of them are very slim. They talk very analytic, rapid eye blinking. So when you go outside now, ladies and gentlemen, this is for my brothers and sisters, part of the Nuwabians, Ancient Egyptian Order, New Nation, Nuwapu, Zoo Nation. This is for you guys. Mentellect, you need to know, as we go outside now, that there's a lot of people living in the gray area. Some people don't want to be explained about these things, right? Now, moving forward, when we're talking about this polar shift, what came to my realization, I was looking on a build, and it was explaining the shifts of the poles. This is the next video I'm about to do after I upload this one. But it kind of explains what we're going through right now, per se, and globally, right? So I'll explain that on the next video. But pay attention to the single group programs. It's already been put in the matrix. You guys are eating artificial food. You're drinking artificial drinks that tell you it's strawberry flavor, but it's fake, artificially made in a lab. You get GMO products from, from steak, shrimp, lobster, etc. But what is really happening is the nanobots are being inserted, right? So now the nanobots could take over. Right? But it's being implemented in the smart food, the vegan products. Follow what I'm saying? All of these, these new products that's hitting the shelves that have to do with nano smart technology. You follow? Now, how it overloads the body to where it becomes you is through the molecular stem cell activation using water with electrode lower frequency emittance, right, of frequencies. You follow what I'm saying? So I hope these things ain't get over your head, man. It's tricky out here, but you still got to stay focused and make sure you wear other half individual that keeps you focused mentally, right? Because this is a physical war. Nah, it's not even. It's a spiritual war, and it's a mental war, and it's all about mental, like at this physical time, right? So everybody has to be physically strong, yes, mentally strong, and spiritually awake, aware, and ahead of the times. And I was telling somebody about these exobots 2 weeks on my panel, and it's funny, the brother he uploaded this video 3 days ago. So it's, you know, this is very good, because, you know, the awareness is getting out there. You know, people are starting to figure things out, but we need to keep this going. We need to keep this going. Also, they were saying that the Orion star group represents the South Pole, negative energies of polar, and we are set here to set the course of the new frontier to be evil. I don't know. Wadu, True Light, to Kindred, Zamzal.